So hi, welcome to this podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
It's another Throwback Thursday, recorded on a Tuesday, posted Mondays, several Mondays later, and this time it's dark outside.
It's dark. Who would have thunk? We've never done a review this late. Maybe we have, honestly.
Literally the last, besides Vices and Virtues, the last two we have both done at 7 o'clock.
We've always done interviews this late. This is so normal for us. This is awesome. I love it.
You know, it's also the first time we've done two in one day. I would say we're getting too weird.
And this is too rare of us to pass up. See, that was we didn't
even rehearse that one.
No, that's 4 years in the making, guys.
This is the kind of telepathic connection you have when you've been doing this shit for 5 years at this point?
5 years. Yeah, 5 years, actually.
That's so crazy. But yeah, today we're chatting about Panic at the Disco and the 2013 album, Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die. The good old Panic at the Disco album that also has Dallin Weeks playing bass on it. So
shout out Dallin Weeks for real.
Yeah, shout out Dallin Weeks, shout out his playing on this. But you know, get right into it. I'm a big fan of this album. I have, obviously we've established throughout this entire series, but if you're just tuning in on this one, hi. That we are big Panic at the Disco fans. We met because of this band. Yeah. And we both had our massive Panic at the Disco phases, granted, probably about 7 or 8 years ago at this point. Actually though. But we've been doing this for 5. We were a year and a half removed from our Panic at the Disco phase when this started. So we had our heavy into the Panic at the Disco phase, and this was one of those albums for me that I was super into.
Dope. Okay, good.
I've always admired the sound that was on this album, the little bit more like synth inspired pop that is laced throughout this entire record. Also, a little bit more bass heavy. It's where and shout out Dallin Weeks for that. Dallin Weeks. It's where the band they experiment again, but in a different way. We established on the last review, Vices and Virtues, very big theatrical album, which is what the band is good at, but it was a little bit more pop centric. So they were already leaning towards that. They go a little bit more
it's pop.
It's pop rock. Straight up pop, but it's also this darker, more synth inspired and very bass heavy pop.
Edgy.
Versus just like your stereotypical out of the box pop, like a song like Ready to Go, which is literally the definition of a pop tune. Great song.
Shout out though. Shout out.
But that's the definition of a pop tune. This album stays a little bit more in that lane for the entire thing, even with the singles. I don't mind This Is Gospel. I think for me, it's similar to how you feel about the Ballad of Mona Lisa, where I've heard it so many goddamn times that the record for me kind of starts on Vegas Lights, because it's so front loaded with the two gigantic.
Starts on the third track for me. Damn, I know how this is going.
Two gigantic fucking songs for this band. And Miss Jackson is also a fantastic song. I prefer it to This Is Gospel if we're going to talk about the two, massive songs off the record that start it. I much prefer Miss Jackson. This Is Gospel for me. It's because of the build up. It starts out slow. We know how I am. I'm impatient. I like it. If you're not kicking me in the teeth right away, if you're not kicking me in the teeth right away, I don't have the patience nor the time to listen. Love the song, but I do prefer just kicking it off with Miss Jackson, which gives me that immediate satisfaction that I'm looking for. My favorite 3-track run on the entire record goes right after that. Vegas Lights, Girl That You Love, and Nicotine. Hence why I don't mind just starting the record on Vegas Lights, because that song, bro, fucking bumps.
Yeah.
Girls, boys, gonna be honest with you, a hot take, you can keep that song.
Crap.
And you can come fight me about it. I don't know.
I will.
I've just never been the biggest fan of that song. I've always just felt a little indifferent to it. It's not something that I feel like I have to skip it, but I don't go out of my way to listen to it. If I'm gonna go listen to a Panic at the Disco song, there's about 47 ones ahead of it, and a good chunk of this album ahead of all of those that I would go listen to before that song. Just personal preference. And then big fan of the last four, especially Far Too Young to Die, and
shout out Dallin Weeks again.
Yeah, and shout out the demo that leaked of that song. That is fucking dope too.
That shit's crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, overall, massive fan of this record. Lots of great tracks on here, and especially Vegas Lights, bro.
No, Vegas Lights is definitely like the standout of the record. It's like that shining bright light of, this is going to be your favorite whether you fucking like it or not. And it is. I think this record's great. So when I first had my Panic at the Disco phase, I kind of like jumped around on the albums. I went Death of a Bachelor, Vices and Virtues, Fever, Pray for the Wicked, and then Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die. Because I had Pray for the Wicked and I went, this is kind of like Dookie. I'm going to revisit their old shit.
How the hell are we going to talk about Pray for the Wicked with a straight face from like a reviewer perspective?
I have some good things to say about it.
And that's fine. But the reason we bonded is because we made fun of Pray for the Wicked for so long.
It's going to be really bad. And we keep bringing it up every review. We're like, because of that fucking awful ass album, Pray for the Wicked. Guys, just don't watch that. Or do if you're like fucking shitting on it. But if you're a fan, probably avoid that one. So towards the end of my Panic phase, I guess. Oh, and fucking Pretty Odd was like mixed in there somewhere. It was just kind of like a week or two of me being like, guys, this is actually a good album, and then like I didn't like it.
Never mind.
But Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die kind of came towards the tail end of my phase. It's good. I think this record is really good. It's definitely more in the poppier, synthy, foggy, hazy vibe, and I think it's awesome. I think it's a huge shift from Vices and Virtues because they go from kind of like a heavier rock pop to a straight, pure pop rock record. Which is great, and I like it a lot. They lost the steampunk vibe completely. They went to more of like a sleek looking, clean, kind of like edgy, hey, I don't know if I trust you right now vibe. And that's fucking awesome. I mean, they have a song about fucking stalking a woman, so it's kind of like, maybe.
Did you watch like the visualizers at all that went up for the non-singles that have like the
Vegas Lights?
Yes. Yeah. Those are the visualizers for, I believe, the rest of the tracks is like, it starts off with like the panning of the Vegas Lights. Like the album in its entirety encapsulates the vibe of that 3.5 minute visualizer that are up for the non-singles on YouTube. Like that is what I see when I listen to this entire record, is that visualizer just playing in my head.
Yeah, they nailed it completely. I think they nailed that kind of like hazy city vibe. And it works very well, especially because is Brendan's whole thing is like Vegas, right? That's like his whole thing.
Yeah. It's like he wrote like what 3 or 4 records in a row about Vegas.
And someone's fucking obsessed.
Yeah.
It's not that crazy, guys. It's not that crazy. I wouldn't fucking write like 5 records about it. So anyways, track by track. This Is Gospel, I think is fine. I completely agree. I think it's just overplayed. Me personally, I prefer the piano version. That was my shit. Now I would make my own playlist and I would put the piano version instead of the original, and then I would just keep it trucking. Miss Jackson, I think is fine. I think it's repetitive, but I think it's really big, and it's like kind of like a big, powerful song and a big part of the record. So I'm not mad at it at all. I don't skip it. Vegas Lights, completely agree. Best fucking song on the record, hands down. Easy shit. No competition at all. Girl That You Love, I think is fucking creepy as shit, and I love it. What do you mean follow her home? Okay, we're gonna move past that. Girl That You Love is Nicotine. I used to like this song for like a week. It was like my favorite song off the record. Then I showed it to my friend as we were playing Minecraft, and this is stuck with me for when was I even on?
This is gonna be so awesome.
Maybe like 6 years, 6 or 7 years. This is stuck with me. He said, and I quote, This song sounds like a Minecraft parody song, and that's not a good thing. This song sucks. And I said, oh, it does. Just how he sounds, how the song flows, it sounds like a fucking parody of itself. So now I don't like Nicotine. Now I hate Nicotine because to me it just sounds like a fucking parody song.
All the tidbits that we're pulling out for this is just so awesome, dude.
Because it was such a big part of our lives, so it's like, of course, there's a good bit of shit from just awesome. Like all of these albums. So Nicotine, fuck you, I hate you. I'm sorry, I used to love you, but not anymore. Girls, Girls, Boys, I think is fucking awesome. Well, the song content's questionable. I used to think it was like, oh, this is like a cute little pride song. And then like reading the lyrics, like as I aged, I was like, this seems a little fetishy.
People made it one thing. It is another. It might be another thing. It's not. It was never really the thing that people said it was. It was always kind of something else.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I know there was an original version or there was some other either fucking way. Putting that shit aside, listening to it as a song and not kind of like digging any deeper, I think this song is fucking awesome. I think it's like alluring. I think it has like a big moment. It's catchy as shit. I don't know. It's an ass shaker just through and through. I fucking love Girls, Girls, Boys. This is the song that I go back to when I'm like, damn, I feel like listening to Panic. I just put that shit on loop for like a good like 2.5 hours. I'm set. My Panic, craving, sustained. Good. Casual Affair, I think is fucking awesome. The little guitar part at the end where it goes, I always just think of that one clip where he followed the guitar part with his voice. So I always just expect to hear him do the high note with the guitar. It's never there, but it's just a nice little tidbit that I think of. And I fucking love that video a lot. I remember I watched that shit like religiously when it first came out. When it first came out, fuck, I don't know. It was probably out for like 3 years. I wasn't into Panic in 2013, so I don't fucking know. Far Too Young to Die is really good. I think it's, personally for me, I think it's a good song, but it's one of the lower points to the record because having it wedged between Colorful and Casual Affair is just like, it's kind of like I'd rather go to Colorful. Colorful is my second favorite track off the entire record. It is so cute. And I love it so much, and it's really light and airy and sparkly, and it's just not like twinkly, but sparkly. It's very happy. It's just a fucking happy track. And then it goes to The End of All Things, which sounds very somber, but if I'm remembering properly, it's his wedding vows that he shared with Sarah. His wife, obviously. Who else is fucking Sarah? So it's like a good, like, oh, we're in love. This is so cute. But it sounds so fucking sad.
Yeah.
And to me, it ends the album on such a low note because, well, it's twinkly. I'll give it that. The piano is fucking beautiful. It's just, me personally, I prefer more cinematic endings and more bigger anthemic endings for an album versus kind of like and that's it, guys. Scene. Yeah. It's just to me it ends kind of on like a meh. It's good. It's a great song. I fucking love the song. I sing along every single time. But I don't know. I prefer other tracks off the record.
Yeah, it was never my favorite closer in the Panic discography. I think there's significantly better ones because it does just kind of fizzle the record out with not really any sort of. It doesn't even feel like it's tying the end of the record up. It's just kind of the slow song that could have went in the middle of the album.
It would have fit better too.
Yeah, and there's other songs literally on this record that could potentially have a greater impact as the closer.
Vegas Lights would have been a great closer. I'll say it. I mean, because it starts with a fucking countdown.
Thing.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah. But those are our thoughts on Too Weird to Live, Too Rare to Die. Personally, for me, my favorites are Vegas Lights, Girl That You Love, and Far Too Young to Die.
I see you took Nicotine out of that. I'm so sorry.
Well, no, I was giving a top 3.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Nicotine, I'll put that number 4. Fuck you, I still like it. I haven't listened to it yet with the new tidbit of information.
Please, stay on the call. Let me see that shit. You're going to be like, Oh, because that's the exact reaction I fucking had. Mid song.
I'll turn on Minecraft too.
Yeah, no, you gotta have the full experience. Yeah,
Get a little motion sick.
I
You know.
can picture exactly where I was
Well, then
in
can you
my
bring me there?
Minecraft world. I can do my best. I think they shut the server down, bro. There was a lot of internal shit going on.
Well, I mean, it probably all started with being told that nicotine. It sounds like a Minecraft parody.
I started
and
the fucking
You're
fall.
like,
The fall of the fucking
like, I'm leaving the
Mayhaven
Discord.
servers. Exactly. I'm fucking done. Get me out of here. Actually, I was on TeamSpeak. Remember TeamSpeak?
I was never on TeamSpeak.
Yeah, dark times, brother. Dark times. Yeah. So my top three. Fuck, what the fuck are we talking about? My top three: Minecraft and TeamSpeak, and the fall of a fucking Minecraft server. My top three: Vegas Lights, Colorful, and Girls, Girls, Boys. As you can see, I like the poppier shit on the record. I think they nailed it.
Yeah.
This is like their best pop stuff.
Yeah. And as you can see, me being the moody metalhead of the group, the moodier tracks on the record are my favorites, minus Vegas Lights, which is the definition of a bright track on the record.
Yeah. So sunny.
But yeah, overall, those are our thoughts. Big fans of this album, as you can tell by all the laughs and giggles we had. As we continue on, next week we'll be diving into Death of a Bachelor. We've got reviews of, and Glory will sing the entire album for us at the end of the review.
That's my entry album.
Yeah. We've got 3 reviews up already. This is the midpoint. Now I got 3 more records that will be coming after this. We're diving into the entire discography. You can follow us on Twitter. It's Good Noise _Cast. Instagram's Good Noise Podcast. Facebook is Good Noise Pod. TikTok is Good Noise Podcast. Audio streaming service is Good Noise Podcast. And Patreon is patreon.com/Good Noise Podcast. Subscribe to us here on YouTube. It sure as shit helps us out a ton.
It does. We're so close to 2K.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
Yep. Help us get there, please. And other than that, I've been Shane.
I've been Glory.
And we've been the Good Noise Podcast. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.